Hello friends, welcome to GCA. Hope you all are doing good. So today in this video, I will be discussing about my GTO strategy that I followed throughout my SSB journey. And before this, I have made a number of videos on my preparation strategies. For example, for TAT strategy, for personal interview strategy, blank story strategy. And if you want to watch these videos, the link is available in the I button. So in this video, I will discuss strategy for each and every task of GTO. For example, for group discussion, group planning exercise, PGT and command task. And at the end, I will give the overall tips for the better performance in the GTO task. So again, without wasting any time, let us start. So let us first talk about the most important factor in the GTO task. So the most important factor is listening to the instructions. And this is the biggest mistake that most of the candidates do. They do not listen to the instructions properly and that land them into trouble. So listening to instruction is very important. So let us now discuss my strategy for each and every task of GTO. So the first is group discussions. So for GDs, I followed a very simple strategy. So for better performance in GD, two important things are required. The first is good communication skills and second is good knowledge base. So I used to prepare from newspaper. I followed The Hindu, where I used to read especially the national and international news. I also followed blogs, especially related to the current affairs as well as the international affairs. Then after reading the newspaper, I used to talk about what I read in the newspaper for around 20 to 30 minutes in front of mirror. And even whenever I meet my friends, then I used to discuss those topics with my friend who were preparing with me for SSB. And when they were not there, I used to take with the help of mirror. I used to prepare all the leads of the topic that is going in the recent times. For example, the topic related to Taliban is going in the recent times. Then I used to think about what type of leads can be there from this GD topics. Then I used to decide the leads, and after that I used to prepare material for each and every lead. Then talking about my performance in group discussions, so I used to give around 3 to 4 points, and so most of the times I tried to initiate it, and if I was not given the opportunity to initiate, then I was always the second or third speaker. Then the most important quality required in GD is the listening skills. So listen to others, do not feel insecure, be calm and avoid shouting. So this is the simple strategy that I followed in my group discussions. Then talking about the GPE, that is the group planning exercise. So in this also I followed a simple strategy. That is, my main focus was on making effective plan covering all the basic parameters like problems as per priority, then resources available, then solutions considering time and distance in mind. And finally, I was able to give around 1 to 2 points in GD, and there were some chances when I was not given chance to speak in GD of group planning exercise. So I used to write effective plan like I mentioned at the start. So how I used to prepare for group planning exercise? So firstly, I worked on my assertiveness level because I used to be a shy candidate in my first SSBs. Then I used to take daily life challenges like GP problems in my job as well as in my responsibilities of home. Then talking about the third task, PGT, that is the progressive group task, and I feel this is the most important task because in this task various things are checked, especially your group behavior and how you respond to challenging situations. So in this I followed a simple strategy. I used to give around 3 to 4 ideas, and in order to get ideas, the main thing that is required is to observe the structure carefully as well as your resources available. And I will make separate videos on how to get ideas in GTO tasks like PGT, half group task and command task, and here I will not cover how to get ideas. So then again, another thing is I supported the group because there are some situations when we are not getting ideas. Then instead of standing blank, what we need to do is we need to support the group. So I did the same. Then the main thing that I feel I did is I never tried to impress the GTO. I never looked at GTO, and I was not trying to show off that yes, I am the person who is working at front. I just used to focus on the task given, that is used to support the group or help them in implementing the ideas. Talking about how I used to prepare for PGT. So first thing is I worked on my group effectiveness. That is, like I mentioned earlier also, I used to be a shy person. So the first thing that I did is I worked on my assertiveness level. Then I learned basic principles of structures, that is the principle of cantilever, what is actually required to get ideas. And I used to practice these structures at home by making small scale structures. And finally, I used to watch a lot of videos on YouTube related to PGT as well as half group task, and these were also helpful. Then talking about the tasks like half group task and final group task. So I followed the same strategy that I followed in PGT. So here I remember I used to give around 1 to 2 ideas and I always supported the group. Then talking about command task. So like we all know that the level of command task is based on the performance on the other tasks of the GTO. So I always got around medium to high level task. And for command task, I followed a simple strategy. Like I mentioned that I worked on my assertiveness level. So I was confident and I gave clear instructions to my subordinate. Then for getting ideas, again I followed simple strategy, that is observing the structure carefully, and with the help of helping material, I used to get ideas. And the main thing that is required in command task is do not come under time pressure, remain calm, because there will be time when GTO will put pressure on you, that is you are left with only 2 minutes, so you are running out of time. So do not listen to this, just focus on the task and complete. Then for the lecturette strategy, I have already made 2 videos. First is the lecturette strategy and second is how to organize a lecturette in 3 minutes, and I suggest you to watch these 2 videos and these are going to be very helpful, and the link of these videos is available in I button. Then for individual obstacles, I always completed between 10 to 12 obstacles, and for that I used to run daily when I was not doing job, and when I was doing job I used to run daily 1 month before the SSB. And finally for the group obstacle race or the snake race, I always performed with different level of mindset. That is, I used to think like I am an officer and I have to lead my team, motivate them and support them to overcome challenges, that is the obstacles, because this task is not about winning, it is all about supporting your team and motivating them. And finally, the most important factors required in these tests, that is in the snake race and individual obstacle, is stamina and strength. So finally, in the summary, talking about the overall tips for the effective performance in GTO task. So the very first thing is work on your public speaking skills, because this is the main factor to perform better in GDs, both in the first 2 GDs as well as in the group planning exercise GD. Then you must be aware about the recent happenings, because in GDs the main thing is the knowledge base. The more wider knowledge you have, the more better points you can put. Then thirdly, work on physical fitness level, because this is required in the tasks like snake race as well as in the individual obstacles. And the most important thing I can say required in the GTO task is build a leader mindset. Do not be selfish that you need to give ideas only, just support your team, and finally remain calm. So friends, this is all about my GTO strategy that I followed throughout my SSB journey, and I hope this information will be beneficial for you. So till then, keep learning, keep supporting and keep watching. Best of luck for your upcoming SSB. Thank you and Jai Hind.